talking about strategic materials under the earth as a result of the blind pursuit of dollars and cents by the Obama administration with regard for what is best for the nation's security and for our industrial base. The Obama administration has sold off a good supply of this supply chain, and to China at that. There are U.S. and Canadian sources of rare earth supplies, by the way. But the fact of the matter is that bargain basement prices for Chinese-produced rare earths from the 80s through the early 2000s led to the disappearance of the U.S. and allies' supply chains. And the Chinese dominated that market. You get it? So it's U.S. policy that failed that gave them the ability to put us over a barrel. I have a caller from Nevada who is the owner of a mine for these rare metals. And again, this is something you're not going to hear on any other radio show. You couldn't get a guest better than what we're about to get right now, right out of the blue. Bob on KBET out of, I think, Las Vegas. Bob, what's on your mind on this rare earth thing? Am I off base or am I on base?
No, you're 100% on base. Our supply chain has dried up, but there's lots and lots of it still here and still available that is just very difficult to get, and those that know how to get it don't talk about it. I have owned these mines for about 6 years and have worked very diligently trying to work out how to refine this stuff out, and have not been successful, but those that know don't share that information.
But, Bob, I want to ask you, for the average audience listening, because the price has dropped on these rare earths because of a number of reasons, it's made it not commercially viable for you to really spend the money necessary to mine. Isn't that correct?
Well, yes, because they're rare earths, they come out at a very, very low quantity. So you're talking moving thousands of tons of material to get an ounce or two.
Wow. Okay, so it's rarer than gold. In other words, a man goes gold mining. That's baby talk compared to this. What are the names of Bob? Name some of the rare earths we're talking about.
Well, you're talking about stuff like indium, osmium, holmium, cerium. For instance, cerium is critical in all laser technology and in the advancement of laser technology. And where is
the rare earth rhodium used?
Iridium?
No, rhodium. R-E-I-D-I-U-M. Rhodium. I'm joking.
Oh,
Is there? Do you believe that there's any truth to this allegation that this BLM standoff had something to do with rare earths?
Oh, absolutely. The BLM tells us all the time one thing because they mean another. That is something you just deal with them. 100% believe it. Now, you were talking earlier about the magnetic rare earths. Those are actually in the platinum group metals, and the platinum group metals are pretty wonderful metals. You're talking the platinum, palladium, iridium. Those type of metals that make up our electromagnetics, that kind of stuff. Real important stuff. Again, in the platinum group families, they say, "Oh, there's none of it here. We've never had any of it here." But there's buckets and buckets and buckets.
Well, what about the fact that we have systems used in the Joint Strike Fighter, the F-35 Lightning II, that's dependent entirely upon a Chinese supplier? Doesn't that tell us that something is wrong?
Well, absolutely, but things have been happening with Chinese for a very long time that have been telling us things are wrong. For the last 6 months, they have bought over 85% of the gold production throughout the world. They're cornering the market on all the different metals that they have in their own grounds. They're still buying up ours, and that's all done for a reason.
Yeah. Well, you heard in the last hour I played that radio show from the 1950s called All My Sons about a corrupt manufacturer of defective cylinders in fighter aircraft, and how one of his own sons died as a result of his corruption and greed. I mean, it reminds me of that, doesn't it, in a certain way?
Absolutely.
Well, you're in the business, but it's not a great business because it's too costly to extract these rare earth minerals, correct?
Well, it's not. I'm in the business. It's not that we haven't started production because we haven't been able to figure out how to extract a lot of these rare earths. Is a pretty closely guarded secret, especially when you get into the rare earths on the platinum groups. They don't want.
Well, Bob, I'm sure the Chinese would be happy to help you take it off your hands. I'm sure they're listening. I'm sure some of their